All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the EPIC podcast. We've got a wonderful human being with us today. His name is Imis Iskandar. Now, he's an old friend of mine. He's the founder of CHAIRITY, an organization that raises funds for cancer foundations. He's definitely an entrepreneur. Recently, if you look up the name Expresso Singapore, you'll be able to find him there as well. And he's definitely the sexiest man I know, just because he's the only person I know that plays the sax. All right, so welcome to the show, Imis.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you.
Okay,
hey,
cool.
By the way, your name is super epic, lah.
Hey,
I was
thank
reading
you.
your name. It's like, wow, epic.
Thank
Nice.
you. Simple. I just
Nice
playing
name.
with the thing, you know. But it's okay, lah. Nobody's going to listen to this anyway, so it's okay. So anyway,
I'll make sure I will. Yeah.
Let's just get straight to it. Okay. Now, charity, right?
Yeah.
For those who are listening, okay, it's charity with an I. Maybe Imis, you could explain that a little bit more. What is charity?
Okay. It's a few years back. If you talk about it now, charity. It's all started in 2012. Actually, it was meant to be a small project. It was inspired by my father, my late father. He was diagnosed with cancer back in 2011. Yeah, 2011. Wow, so back. No, actually 2010. 2010. So 2010 he was diagnosed, and then he went for treatment, and 1 year later, about close to 12 months, 1 year, he suffered a relapse. That was in 2011, mid 2011. And because I used to look up to him as he's like a mentor and all that lah. It's like a huge figure to me lah. So in 2011, when he suffered a relapse, I thought to myself, I was already doing my own stuff with a partner called Gary. So Gary and myself, we were thinking. I told him, I said, I want to do something in honor of him. I want to do something for him, for me to remember. In dedication to him. So we decided to do a fundraising. Why a fundraising? Because the thing is that what I realized about cancer is that everyone knows cancer. Everyone knows someone who is affected by cancer. But if you do not know someone close, if when I say close, it's not not cousins or friends or whoever. It must be someone very close to you, your best friend or whoever. If you know someone like that, then you know the battle, the real battle that they are fighting. You know, before my dad, I know quite a few people who got cancer, but I was like, okay, lor, cancer, poor thing, but okay, lor, what can I do? But when my dad got cancer, then I realized what it's all about. The struggles he went through. But the thing is that I was quite blessed because he could afford all the best treatment, medicine that money could afford here in Singapore. He went to one of the best doctors here, oncologist. So I didn't have to worry about paying for his medical expenses. Other than paying for the petrol that sent him to the hospital. But other than that, I don't pay anything for it. But I see like, wow, he pays so much, yet he suffers also so much. Physically, mentally, So I see that, wow, the suffer is real. What if people have no money at all? Then the suffer is like times 10 or times, multiple times. Then I was like, okay, I really want to do something to help those who are in a similar situation, but there's just no finances to support lah. So I thought, okay, I want to do something like what can I do? I come from a design background, and then I thought, okay, I want to do something since in honor of my father. I thought he was a furniture man. So he was dealing with furniture for the longest time. And I had some interest in furniture as well. So I thought, okay, I had some experience designing furniture in one of my school projects. But I thought, okay, if I design a furniture, no one will buy. You see, who will buy my furniture? So I thought, okay, no, I'll just get a normal kind of furniture that my dad used to produce. And then how do I add value to this? So I thought, okay, maybe I'll get a few artists. I do not know any artists. I just get a few artists, as in like visual artists, and design on the chair. So I thought, okay. So I met one artist and I told him about the project. He liked it. He said, yeah, okay, I'll paint on your chair. So I thought, wow, okay, now we got the furniture, we got one artist, we got one chair, and we got one artist. Now we got to think of a name. And then comes the name chair. What do we call it? Chair. Then we come out. It's a bit cheesy lah, but charity. Then we like ting. It's like quite nice. Charity is a chair. So we thought we are super creative lah. Wow. Then when we Google the names, a lot of people using charity, but never mind lah. So we just use it lah. Singapore, no one use it yet. So in the end, one artist loved it. Then from there, he introduced more artists and more artists. We only planned about 4 or 5 only because we don't have enough chairs. In the end, it was snowball, and I think up to about 20 plus artists. I really can't remember. It's about 20 plus artists. So it's like, wow. That was in December. So I thought, okay, we got so much artists here. How much do we sell the chair? So everything was planned out in 1 month. So and my dad's condition wasn't improving at all. So I thought, wow, when should we launch this? It is in November, December. I had no experience doing events at all. I have no experience of raising funds. I have no experience volunteering at all. So it's zero experience. I got no experience handling artists, you know. So I zero experience. But it's just what pushes me is I want to do something for my dad. That's all. So I told Gary, I was like, hey, I think we cannot launch it too late. Do not know when my dad can last. You know, doctors are giving him only a few months, and I can see the condition is not improving. That was in December. So I thought, okay, when we got money, what can we do with this money? You know, I never handled such money before. You know, I don't think we're going to sell the chairs for like $50. So I thought, okay, I'll go to Singapore Cancer Society. I went to Cancer Society, SCS. I went to SCS in December. I told back then it was one of the directors lah. So I tell her that we want to do a project. And they say, wow, okay, good, thank you. And we want to, then they ask, okay, when would you like to launch the project? Then I said, we want to launch it in May. So they were like, May is like 5 months away, and you want to do a project like this. So in the end, I said, with or without your support, I will just run it. Either small scale or big scale, I don't know. I'll just do it lah. They asked me how are you going to fund this project. Then I said, I have some savings. We are going to fund it. I will not get. If you want to support, it's okay. But if not, then I'll just use my funding first. I'll just use my money first to fund the project. If I raise enough money, I'll just cover my costs, and then whatever the remainder, I will just contribute everything. Yeah, all that. Me being naive, I do not know what I was getting myself into. Yeah, so I told them, I know I want to launch it in May. So they asked, is there any special reason why in May? Then I say, number one, I do not know how long my dad will last. Number two, my dad's birthday is in May. Hopefully it can last until May. Then yeah, that's it. So I kept it a secret. I traveled back and forth Indonesia to a few. I was still doing my work, and I was preparing charity. So
sorry, but why Indonesia though?
The furnitures are from there.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and I was doing work in Indonesia and Malaysia. So yeah.
So you were just leveraging on where you were, and also I think
yes.
you're familiar with the language as well. You know, the fact
yes.
that the bahasa is slightly different,
yes.
but you also adapted accordingly.
Yeah. So cut the story short. It snowballed until so big. The chairs were done in like 3 months. I got the chairs here, and then I delivered the chairs. I even hand carried the chairs. You know, we got not enough chairs. Then I went to Indonesia. I actually checked in 5 chairs. There's a photo of me carrying 5 frames on the trolley, check in, and then I brought it back. And then I distributed the artists. So what I do was I personally went down to every single artist and spoke to them. You know, because everyone did it without any pay at all. Everyone do it fully volunteer work.
Wow.
Yeah, so all artists, everyone contributed to this project. No one was paid. Even the performing artists, everyone was paid. The MC, everything, everyone was not paid. Sorry. So then I got the chairs ready. Then the next headache. Wow, how to raise money? How to sell? I never sell art pieces before. And one piece I wanted to sell at $5,000. Wow, super yaya. Like, wow, if this chair we sell at 5,000, who will buy? You know, I don't have so many rich friends lah. So I said, okay, maybe I will start with my MP. So what I did was I met ministers, I met MP and all that. So I met them. I didn't know what the protocol was to see them. You see, so there's interesting stories lah. Like for example, Mr. Taman, I went to his place and I meet the people session. There's nowhere else. So I don't know where his office was. So I went to Jurong all the way and I said I want to meet him. So the gatekeeper was like, no, sorry, you're not a resident of Jurong. Anyway, I stay in Tampines. You're not a resident of Jurong, you cannot meet him. I said, it was about 8 p.m. Then I said, I got this proposal, I got this project. Maybe you can just pass to him. If he's interested, I will wait. I can wait until he finished. It's okay. If he's not interested, then I will come another day or I will not come at all again. So the guy went in. About a few minutes later, he came out and said, okay, Mr. Taman will see you after the whole session is over. So I said, okay. So I sat down, 8 p.m. I sat down. I wait. Wow. That was then, I had so much respect for this MP. He met me at about close to 2 a.m. I'm not kidding you. He finishes about 1 plus. 2 a.m. he met me. I was like, wow, I was so tired already, but I cannot leave halfway. What he already said want to meet me. Then I went in. He was still so fresh. I met him. Then I spoke to him about the project. He listened to me. Then he said, "Okay, I will do it." He said, "I will get back to you on which chair I will take."
So he agreed to buy a chair, as in to
agreed.
Donate.
On that point, he agreed to buy a chair, but that's it. Like he said, let me choose. Let me go back and choose because I had a catalog ready.
For how much? For like 5 Gs?
Okay, so this. No, sorry. The chairs was sold like 2.5. 2,500.
Okay.
Yeah. So a few days later, I got a call from his secretary. So I said, hi, this is, I forgot the name. I said, this is Mr. Taman's secretary. Mr. Taman told me that he's going to get one of your chairs. He chose this chair, and that chair was the chair designed by me. I don't know whether he knows the chair was designed by me. So I designed 2 chairs. So he chose my chair. So good. Okay, then after that, I asked, don't mind me asking, how much he buy? Because they never say the amount. He said there's a check ready. I said, do you know what is the amount of the check? Amount of the check? I said, 5,000. That was the highest that time. Then I was like, 5,000. Then she was like, not enough. He said, no, it's enough.
She can edit the check herself. Is it? Or just add one or something.
Because I didn't tell him how much one chair is. I remember that I didn't tell him the cost of the minimum price for the chair. Yeah, so he just put 5,000 for one chair. So, wow, okay. So when can I deliver the chair? Oh, no, it's okay. We will come and take it from you. So
self-collect some more.
Self-collect.
Better than this one better than carousels, yeah.
better. Then I got one more. I got so many stories, very many interesting stories. There's one more which is former MP. This guy is a former saint. So I have one more chair. I have one more chair which is, I designed 2 chairs. The other chair is a St. Andrew's chair. So my dad was a former saint. Me, of course, an old boy. So we're all old boys. I know this MP is an old boy. That's why I went to him also. So I presented the thing to him. I spoke to him about charity. Then he was like, okay. So he obviously he's very tired and he wasn't really interested. Okay, then when I showed him the chair, he was like, oi, old boy.
Immediately really up, right?
Yeah, and there's no more barrier between us. He was like, hey, old boy. Then I say, yeah. Why you never say earlier? Then let me take a look at the chair. Then he was like, okay, I take this chair.
Just like
immediately there was no barrier. He was like, and the way he speak, it was like, it was not even.
It's not ministerial anymore, right?
Yeah. He was like, okay,
hey brother,
And after his session, it was again meet the people session. After the session, he asked me, hey, want to have prata or not? So I had supper with him after that.
Wow.
Yeah, and we talked like as if I know him like that. But that was the first time I met him.
Hey,
But
please
and
tell
we had
me you
prata
all
after
didn't
that.
go to Potong Pasir. Go and hit Bandung again, please.
Yeah, so there were so many stories, and yeah, so that's how I sold the chairs lah. But in the, before, I think we sold most of the chairs. There were some few leftovers lah. And then comes the guest of honor part. Who can we invite as a guest of honor? So I thought, we need guest of honor, man. But then I think events like this, we have big names as an artist. You have big names as the people supporting big names. So I thought, who to invite? One of the artists say, why don't you invite the president, S.R. Nathan, the late Mr. Nathan? Who am I to invite him? How to invite him? I don't even know how to do it. You must remember that a lot of the things I ran myself without consulting SCS, Singapore Cancer Society, because I didn't know the protocol of it. So I didn't know how to invite such person, you see. What I did was, I'm not kidding you, I just went to Istana. Not physically, I went to Istana and emailed Istana. I would like to invite you, dear Mr. Nathan. I would like to invite you to my event, blah 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 blah. What happened next? I'm not kidding you. A few hours later, I got a call from Cancer Society. Imis, what have you done? It's like, why? What's wrong? Did you send a letter to the Istana? I was like, yeah. Do you know that 5 agencies called us? Oh, okay. Why? What happened? They said, yeah, they want to ask me about you, and they asked me about charity and asked us about the project. Oh, okay. So they want to verify. I think it was like there was Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Communication. There was a 5 ministry call in. And after that call, I got call from 3 ministries. One of it is his office, and the other one is Ministry for Culture. Forget it.
MCYS.
Yeah. So
probably
this,
NAC, right? National Arts
and
Council.
I forget what is it lah. But I know 5 ministry called Cancer Society.
Yes.
Three office called me and asked me who am I and why am I doing this and blah blah blah. So I said, am I getting into trouble? Like, did I do the wrong thing? Obviously, I did the wrong thing lah. But okay lah, ignorance is a bliss most of the times, So the next 2 days, I got a call from his secretary, and I told me, okay, Mr. Nathan will be happy to grace your event. Could you send us the details? I said, like that. Then I called Cancer Society. Hey, they called already. He's coming. Huh? He's coming. So they were shocked also, because it usually takes about
you need
few
like
days or
6
weeks.
No, you need like 6 months, no? 3 to 6
I don't know
months
lah.
minimum to get a GOH to come down there.
And it was like, I think about 1 or 2 months before the event. Yeah. So okay, then I said, okay, I got the
Damn lucky,
GOH.
man.
Yeah, lucky is understatement. So in the end, basically everything was smooth. So I went back to the artist who told me to invite Nathan, Mr. Nathan. Then he was like, I told him, then I was so excited. Then he told me, Imis, if you do, I still remember until now, if you do something good, the road will just open up for you. He said in a nicer way lah, obviously, but he said in a more poetic way, being an artist, But what I remember is, if you do something good, the road will open up for you lah. That's what I remember.
Right.
So okay. So that was very good. So I wanted to launch it in May, right? In April, we managed to keep it a secret with the family for very long. Until in April, where there were a few media coverage, like radio, TV shows and everything. And in April was my first media, not appearance, but feature, or whatever you call it, in radio. So that was my first time in radio. And before I left for the interview, I made sure I switch off all the radios at home. Not many lah, only about 3 or 4, radios at home. So I made sure I switch it off and no one listened to it, because I want to keep it a secret until the event, ma. But I forgot that my dad has a small radio by his bedside. So the interview was 1 hour. After the interview, my phone, everyone was like, wow, Imis, congrats, you didn't know, wow, good job, wow. Everyone was sending me messages. And I was like, wow, obviously they hear people hear radio in the car, Then I asked one of them, how do you know? your father called me. He listened because he was listening to radio. There was a radio by his bedside, which I didn't switch it off, but it was a blessing in disguise. It was in April. His health was declining. As a cancer patient, mental it's very important. Mental health is very, very important. It kept him going. He knows when was the event, so he was very strong. He just made himself very strong. And every time when people come in, he will start to paste like newspaper cuttings, like posters or whatever on his bed. So every time people come in, he will tell people, see, my son is going through this event. He will tell everyone about the event. So he's looking forward to the event. Yeah. So again, the event was in I forgot. It was in May. So the event, he was really, really, really the last stage, very bad condition. He couldn't even get up. So I told him that before I left for the event, I told him, are you okay? If you're not okay, don't go to the event, because I was taking care of him almost full time with my sibling, my brother, my sister-in-law, and my mom. I was taking care of him, and then I asked him, are you okay? If you're not okay, I can stay here. Doesn't matter. The event can go on without me. It doesn't matter. So he said, go. He said, go. He can't even get up. He get up to the toilet. He will come back breathless for like a few hours. So that's how bad he was. So I went. Then my sister-in-law stayed back to take care of him. Then I said, I will try to get live viewing for you. Back then, there was no WhatsApp live video, whatever, you see. So I said, I'll try to take the recording of the event. I will show you, okay? After the event, I will go back straight away. So you just do a thumbs up. He couldn't really talk. He just do the thumbs up. So I went to the event. The event was such a huge success. When I was doing my speech, so I did a small speech. When I started my speech, he came in with a stretcher.
It looks like his turn to surprise you.
Yeah. So what happened was he called a private ambulance. He asked my sister-in-law. She called a private ambulance, and he demanded to be at the event. Wow. He came to the event. He dressed up. He wear like a batik, and he dressed up. He went to the event, and everyone just in shock. Wow. Then the speech was very difficult. Then the speech became very, very difficult. Then, but he came to the event. After the speech finished, Mr. Nathan gave a speech. Mr. Nathan came up to me and said, I want to see your father. Can I shake hands with your father? And I said, yeah, of course. So he went. After the whole the speech event finished, he went back. That's with the private ambulance. He went back. Then I went on with the event. The next day, there was another event, an exhibition. Then after that, at night, that night, I told him, hey, I'm going to pack up. You wait for me, okay? I'm going to pack up. Then I come back. He just do a thumbs up again. When I came back, the night, that was the last day of the exhibition. I came back. The next morning, he passed away. So he waited until the end of the, the exhibition. Yeah, he managed to see through the whole event. Sorry, the story is very long, but yeah.
Not at all.
So he witnessed the whole event.
Oh, that's great, man. I mean, of course, the passing is tough, but the fact is that, what you did kept him going, and he saw that as well, and he really wanted to be a part of that. I mean, that's just an amazing journey that you, father and son, has. In that sense,
so I always say that the first one is the biggest success, not in terms of how much I raised, but it was such a big success because he managed to see it. And I met my objective. My main objective was to for him to see it, for him to witness the whole thing.
Right, and because of that, everybody can remember that legacy that you have created for him in that sense. You see, he will always be a part of this project. So it was a good way for me to remember him. When he passed on, I was beside him. Yeah, that was good. Then that's why I decided to
do it again, you know, in 2014 in Singapore. Was it in Singapore? No, 2014 was in Malaysia. 2015 in Singapore. 2016 in Indonesia. Then again in Singapore. So every time I met a beneficiary, they will ask me like, they will ask me, okay, how much are you taking from here? Then I said, I'm not taking a single cent, maybe just to cover my cost. If I want to buy a chair, yeah, obviously I need money to buy a chair, that's all. But other than that, I'm not taking anything. What I want is, my only condition is, I want to have a book, and the book has to be in memory of Abdul Rahman Jasmine, my dad's name. That's all. Yeah, so I did it every year, but my condition is very simple, just have my dad's name on the book, that's all.
So they approach you. So at this point, at this stage, right, in 2020, are the beneficiaries coming to you, or do you have to go to them and tell them about the
No,
product?
I don't do it anymore. The last time I did was in 2016.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's just time consuming. It's just, yeah. I didn't. Yeah, the last time I did it was 2016. I don't know whether I will do it again. Yeah,
but why? Aren't you planning to do it again?
The thing is that it's not a sustainable model. I would say it's a success because of all that lah. But also, I always say that it's also a failure. It's a failure in a sense that it's not a sustainable fundraising model. Means I have to fully get involved with it. If I'm not around, if I don't do it, if I don't run it, then it wouldn't run by itself. And I find that by raising money, how it works lah? How to say, like, I raise 100,000, for example. 100,000 I will give all to the beneficiary. You know, it doesn't make business sense, right? You know, I didn't apply that business knowledge into this. What I learned throughout the years is that I attended seminars on fundraising, on non-profit and all that. The biggest lesson I learned is that non-profit or fundraising, you have to see it as a business. Other than, the only difference is that the profit goes to the beneficiary lah. But just like a business, you have your operational cost, you know. And just like a business, whatever profit that you get, you don't spend it 100%, right? You know. So if I were to do it again, I will plan a more sustainable model where, yes, you cover your operations. You say you get 100,000, you only give about 50,000, for example. The other 50,000, you will do other events, another event. You know what I mean?
Use that to roll and grow lah.
Exactly. Just like any business, right? You know. But I didn't apply that to all the charities that I did. All the charities I did, 100% I gave back. I gave to the beneficiary. Yeah. So so that was something that I should have put more thoughts into it. But then again, I didn't have the experience, and the one of the best experience I had was doing it in Indonesia. I met so many people that give me advice. One of the advice that the person gave me was, these are all, how I would say, established people, like, you know, like they are bank owners, they are foundation heads. So they came to me and said, Imis, not in a wrong way, but they said, Imis, I can buy all your chairs now, but I wouldn't buy your chair. I wouldn't support you. Why? Because your model is not sustainable. You know, now you're helping these people, the patients, right? But who's helping you? You know, when the plane is going down, okay, this is not a good analogy, but the plane is going down, oxygen mask goes down, who do you help? Do you help your child first, or you help you first? You know? Yeah. So if you have a child, then you lost oxygen and you faint, that's it. You know, then both gone. You know, you got to help yourself first before you help others. He said this is very selfish, but if you help yourself more, others will benefit a bit. Yeah. So I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Then he said that your model, let's say the event was in April back then, there's a lot of fireworks, there's a lot of hoo-ha about your event until April. But once the fireworks die down, who will remember your event? Then I say, I don't need people to remember me, but I just do this event because it's a way for me to remember my dad. That's all. I say, yeah, but this event got so big, but it's not sustainable. Once the event finished, that's it. No one, the money doesn't continue to come in. So, I raised the most in Indonesia, about close to $1 million. Yeah, that was in Indonesia. So,
Yeah, man, if you made that a sustainable model, that $1 million would be rolling, so that you could have done this quite a number more times, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And we're not talking about rupiah here, right?
No. $1 million Sing dollars. It's about 900 plus billion rupiah. Is it billion? I don't know, too many zeros.
How do you even count 9 billion rupiah, bro?
I sold one chair for like...
You'll be counting the money until the next event, literally.
So that's where you can really use the money gun and shoot.
Yeah, man, tell you.
Yeah. So that's the story of charity. Like, could go on and on for days, but
okay.
It's there's a lot of learning journey along the way.
Right. Oh, this was the same advice you gave me that time around. Remember that? I think it was last year we were speaking. I gave you a call and say, hey, if I wanted to do things like a social enterprise, what should I do? First thing you told me was that you have to make sure that the model is sustainable. Yes, your heart is in the right place, but you have to make sure it's sustainable so that you treat it like a real business.
Exactly.
So this is where it came from.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then like another advice that I got so many good advice because the people I met are all established people. I mean, not that Singapore is not established, but I met a lot of business owners
in their own life.
I met,
right?
Yeah, I met this guy, and he owns a chain of hotels, and I met him at his hotel. Then he was like, how much are you selling one chair for? Then I was like, one chair is about. I want to make it up a bit, in Singapore I sell for 2005. Then I said, one chair about 5,000. How many chairs are you selling? 50 chairs. Then one chair 5,000. Don't sell. I buy all your chair. You don't do the project. Let me run your project. How much are you planning to raise? Then I say about 200,000 Sing lah. I'm talking about Sing. $200,000 Sing. Don't waste your time. Give me all your chairs. Don't run the project. I will run the project for you. You just sit at the audience. So I was like taken aback. He was like very, very serious with me. Okay. He said, don't waste your time if you're aiming to raise only 200,000. You have the support of all these people. Back then I had already the support of TV station. I have the support of the media, the sponsors and everything. So I had full support of everyone. So he said, you got all this support and you're only raising 200,000. Don't waste your time. Then he gave me one analogy. He said, you cook a rice, one bowl and one bucket is the same effort. In one day, there is 24 hours. You can achieve either so little or so much, is up to you, but it takes the same effort. It's a Indonesian saying. I don't know how to translate it, but
go ahead.
One bowl and one bucket is the same effort. You still need to pour the rice onto the bowl and you put it in the rice cooker. That's it. It's not as if you 10 times the effort.
Right. Whether it's half a cup or whether or not it's 6 cups, you're still using that one rice cooker and it's still going to come out as rice.
Yeah, something like that. So you sell one chair at 5,000 or you sell one chair at 50,000, it is still the same effort. You still need to meet people and talk about it, right? It's just the way you sell it, So it's not as if you sell one chair for 50,000, you spend like 5 months doing it. Yeah. So in the end, I listened to him and then my target became 500,000. So I said, yeah, that's more like it. Do it at 500,000. He said that if you can raise minimum 300,000, I will up it up for you. He told me that. Okay, I'll take up the challenge lah. Actually, I got no choice but to take out the challenge lah. So okay, I take out the challenge. Yeah, but in the end, the highest I got for one chair was $400,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Until today, I was like, wow, it's so overwhelming. The Indonesian edition was super overwhelming. Yeah, but
$400,000 for a chair.
Yeah. But I got a lot of good advisors where I put it into everyday things lah.
Now, for your side, right? You are also running Expresso at this point in time. I'm wondering, this information that now because the sales hat is being put on right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as you know, I'm also in sales. So taking these lessons, right, do you also impart this knowledge to your salespeople and improve them through these efforts of teaching them value-based selling, so on and so forth?
Well, I don't have salespeople. It's just me and my
It's just you,
my partner
alamak.
Gary lah. Yeah, but it's all this advice changed the way I think. Yeah, so it's
Right.
like how do you value add? It's simple things lah. A lot of things in business is actually common sense. I have my go-to person in whatever business that I do. I always find a mentor for it. So this is besides charity lah. Like for example, there's some major decision I have in my work life, in my business life. I'll try to find someone to seek advice from. Yeah, someone who's very experienced, who can see things that we can't see. So I met this person and I told him I asked him for advice. Then he was one of the things that he said that he's actually doing things so hard. A lot of things in business is all common sense. It's really just common sense. It's just that you are too busy thinking of other things, of all these small little things, that you don't see things in a bigger picture or the clearer picture. Yeah. So I can't remember what it was, but when he gave me the advice, I was like, I should have thought of that. This kind of thing, so simple. Yeah, but I didn't thought of that. It's very common sense. Yeah. So yeah lah.
So
that's the part.
So after charity is, I mean, now that you're pretty much done with charity already, you don't know whether it's going to come back. You're focusing on your current business, which is Expresso, right? We were talking early on, and you mentioned that you had taken over the Singapore arm, or bought over the Singapore arm.
Yeah.
Right. So that being said, right, with COVID-19 at this point in time, you were mentioning also, I mean, this is off the air, we were, that you've been attending courses. Was it because you know that you need to improve during this COVID-19, or are you using that purely for your business and the marketing of it?
I just like to get in new knowledge. The thing is that I've been doing sales since the start of my working life. My first job is sales. Until now, I'm doing sales. So how I did sales before was super traditional, door to door, cold calling, and all that. So I don't think it works now. I don't think, so with the digital age and everything, it is so, the way I do it is super old school. Yeah, so I've been reading up about outbound and inbound marketing, you know what I mean? So it's like, why should you go out to sell to people while there's a way we just put your stuff online and just get people to buy it, like there's a way to do it that. So I thought it was very interesting. So I attended digital marketing course and I attended online courses on selling, on e-commerce, on things like that, things that can value add the business. Yeah.
Yeah, especially during times like these,
Yeah, during down times like this, that's
correct.
why you just improve yourself.
Okay.
You got to do it. Yeah.
Right. So at the same time, right, during this period, I mean, you've seen the highs, and I would assume that this is probably one of the lower points, with the industry.
Yeah.
And your business is mainly in the airline industry. How are you coping with that at this point in time?
So in Expresso, what I do is two main category of industry. First is aviation. We supply trolleys to the airports. So I'm in charge of the business in this region, Asia-Pac lah. And we supply equipments to the industry. Industry is like manufacturing, aviation, production, F&B. So any industry lah. So there's two categories. The industry is, because I'm handling the region, it's a bit difficult for me now to do outside of Singapore, because pre-COVID, half the time I'm actually not in town. So I'm always traveling to just meet people lah, and to service them. Yeah, but now it's a bit difficult to do it. And then for aviation, it's super badly hit. We have tenders going on in other countries. They have to cancel the tender. Never happened before. Singapore airport, we had a tender. We were supposed to sign the LOA, letter of agreement. We were supposed to be awarded that afternoon. In the morning, they called me and said, hey, our bosses have decided to cancel the tender. Yeah, so that's, yeah, it was really quite bad. Yeah, so that's for Expresso lah. But we do have a couple of inquiries coming in. We need to Zoom and everything, but it's a bit difficult. But because my kind of work is that we need to visit and see physically and provide a solution. You see,
right?
It's very hard to do it through Zoom.
Right.
But
it's not like you're buying hangers. Yeah, it's not like you're buying hangers off Lazada and saying that, okay, I'm buying shells from Taobao and this is the max weight that I can take. It's not that simple.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So we got to go down to assess the work site. We got to assess the environment, assess. We got to see the product. We cannot be like, okay, can you turn around? Okay, can I see what's behind you? Yeah, it's a bit difficult. And then there's no personal connection there. You see. Yeah.
And you being old school, you being old school, right? You have to have that, right? Like, it's true. It's a fact. I mean, a lot of us started out that way as well, right? In door-to-door sales, tele-sales, the knocking on doors, the constant cold calling, the traditional phone book, yellow pages research, right? That we have to do just to find new customers. Yeah. But the relationship is still very important. I think that's what's keeping the business alive to some extent. At the same time, right? During this time, what are your plans to pivot? I'm very curious because if you're saying that the aviation industry, and we all know that's pretty much is going to require a lot more work right now. Are there other opportunities that you're looking out for at this point in time?
Okay, so for Expresso, it's a downtime. We have the good thing is that we were awarded as a project earlier this year. It was just pre-CB. It was like 1 week or a few days before the CB started, we awarded a project. So that was that was really a good breather for us because it could last us for a year. But that to execute a project takes only about 2 months, 2 to 3 months max lah. So we got the rest of the year a bit free. So I told myself, I cannot depend on this. I got to do something else. So that's where I just for the past few months, I just started to apply whatever I learned in digital marketing elsewhere. What I did was, I didn't know what to sell. So I went around, I didn't go around. When I speak to people and when I find that they have something interesting to sell or they, so I would just tell them, hey, why not I help you to do this, I could help you to set up your platform for you to sell, at no charge because I want to practice my skills and just to help out. Yeah.
Almost like a neighborly gesture. You're like saying, hey, I want to apply my skills. Come, let me help you out with this, right?
Yeah. So got a few. One of the examples is that it's very simple thing. It's like someone I know, a maid agency. It was my maid's agent. So she we just sat down because I had some time to kill before I pick up my wife. So I asked her, hey, how's your maid agency business going on? Now we do CB. Say, very bad. I got to drive Grab now. And I say, okay, why not you try digital? You have to go digital. Then we start talking. Then she asked, I don't know what to sell. Then I say, why don't you just sell dates? We Malays during fasting month we do a lot of dates, right? Yeah. So she was like, yeah, I can sell dates. My brother is selling. Then we set up a platform to sell our dates. Then I was like, Then I set up the Facebook FB page. Then I set up FB marketing. Then I just launch it. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, she sold out the dates. Yeah. Then I was like, wow. In my mind, I was like, I should be selling the dates, man.
Yeah, man. So that brings me to the next question. In your experience, right, especially in this time, what ideas would you have, right, for a business that anybody could just go into? Especially, okay, no, the basis of my question is this. I've met a few people who have told me, look,
Yeah.
my business is not doing well. I need to pivot. So they are getting on that desperate train of, I'll jump onto any bandwagon that seems profitable quick. Like, for example, they saw somebody doing frozen food, that Chinese guy, right, who's auctioning and
Oh
whatever.
man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then they start jumping onto the frozen food channel. Then after that, then there are some that want to become, they go into distributing masks. But that fad is going to die down, right? So they're always late. They're always 2 steps late. What do you think the next one is going to be for those who want to just quickly jump into something?
Got money or no money? Got capital or no capital first? No capital. Almost zero lah.
I don't know. Let's just say that this person needs something. Okay. And he's still, say, delivering Grab on the weekends.
Okay. So it's not someone who like suddenly got 50,000 and asked, what should I go business should I do? No, yeah. Right? Okay. So for the past few months, I've been helping out a few people. That agent is just one example. So for me, I like to do this because it is something that just drives me, and I because doing the thing which I like, and it's a newfound skill, although not a master yet, but at least I could practice my skill. So I got another family member who is doing shepherd pie. So I told her, hey, why don't you sell shepherd pie lah? You cook, then I'll just help you set up your platform, then see how it goes lah. So I went over to her place, and then I took picture of a pie, and then I just launched the ads lah, set up the page and everything, and I got the first order the same day. Cut story short, she earned like in 3 weeks, she earned about 2,004. Not too shabby, what?
Not too shabby. And then like, no CPF deduction. Cash.
Then after there was another person. I said, we were sitting down now. What should I do? I don't need to think so far. The thing is that don't think of something so unique. Think of something which don't need to, how to say,
something that you know.
Something that you know, and something which is when people do not need to think about. Let's say, okay, I say food is one of the easiest things to sell, but don't need to think of something like, maybe like nasi lemak, sushi, or whatever. Don't need to be something so creative. Think of something easy, something easy for people to relate to. They see, no need to think, they will buy straight away.
Okay. So for such home businesses, right, what's the strategy to market, number one, online? And then after that, right, what the channels would be? And what do you think step by step? Because first thing I would be thinking of was that, okay, number one, I need to get there. So you have carousel, you've got Facebook Marketplace, you got the Facebook ads, right? But then these all go mass. But what about the targeted ones? Are you going to start with your estate? Then what about the older ones who want to purchase? How do you tap on that? If, let's say, for example, you are doing tingkat business, for example,
okay.
How would you go to the younger ones, and how would you go to the older ones?
Wait, I don't know how to answer that question. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question, but let me put it in another way. The problem with people, or the problem with me before, was that I think too much. Like I will analyze, like if I want to launch something, I will make sure that the logo, me being a design trained, I'll make sure the logo is nice. I make sure we have a nice product photography. We make sure we have a nice branding to it. Once we have a nice tagline, nice colors, brand, whatever, and then we launch it. By the time you launch everything, they already found a vaccine for COVID already. Yeah, so don't think too much. The key thing is that you have to take action. What I learned was, for the past few months, what I did was, okay, auntie, you want to do food business, right? Okay, come, let's do it. In one day, I told her, okay, pass me the chicken. Okay, go and marinate the chicken now. Okay, pass me the chicken now. Okay, we take photo of the chicken. That's it. That photo there, I'll just post it up. No editing. Logo. Okay, what's your name? Okay, whatever name. I'll just put her name, kitchen. Don't need to think so much of the branding. Launch it. That's it. Don't think too much like, okay, if this sales go up, what are you going to do? Because you're not going to be your next Old Chunky. You're just going to you taking baby steps first, but you need to just launch it and have a taste of how it's like. Whatever you have, just take action, post it up, Just start selling it, and once you see result, you improve. It's just the same thing like for example, to do a podcast. Or to do vlogging, for example. For me, I always wanted to do vlogging, but I would think that, wow, I don't know how to edit, my face like that, the angle and how to do create. There's no perfect way to do videos or vlogging. You just launch it and you will improve from there. You see Gary V, the first video I'm sure is very, cringy. I'm sure you see his first video. If now he see his first video, he'll be like, wow, what was I thinking,
Tell me
but
about it.
he get to where he is now because he started somewhere, and from there he improved. Right. So it's the same thing as whoever is thinking of doing something. Don't think about it there and then take actions. That's it. So once you take action, the momentum you start again. If not, you just think, you start thinking by the time.
See, you are continuing what Bob said, no?
Yeah.
Bob,
what did he say?
Bob said in the last podcast, right? He was saying that I asked him, what are you going to teach your children from all your business knowledge? He said, don't be afraid to try. So that's step one. So now you are saying step two, just go and do first, and then you improve as you go along.
I was having a conversation with Bob the other day. And he also was learning digital marketing and all that lah. Like people like Peng Jun. Is it Peng Jun? Yeah, we were talking about all this good digital guru lah. So it's the same thing. I realized that he was also the same as me, where we spent so long conceptualizing the whole idea, the whole branding thing, that we forgot about, like we didn't even take action lah. We're thinking like, this one have to be perfect before we launch it. No such thing. There's never a perfect product. There's always version 1.2, version 1.10, version 10.20 or whatever. Yeah. But you need to come up with a version 1 first, right? Yeah. So that's the only thing I can say lah. You got to take actions. Don't think too much about what happened if this one go big. What happened if yeah.
Right. Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Yeah, I'm not so good with words, but you put it the right way.
That's the old saying, right?
Yeah.
Hey, then thanks for that lah. It's really nice to be able to pick your brain about what you're thinking. In terms of especially those who want to start out. I'm sure that there are many people out there who are thinking, fact of the matter is this lah. Okay, in terms of income, I do believe that those within the lower income bracket are struggling to make ends meet. They need to do whatever they can to get that quick, and stabilize. Those in the middle income brackets are relatively stable, but we fear for our jobs right now, right? But we need a little bit more because we know that we want certain creature comforts, So I think this advice that you've given, right, applies perfectly to those in these two brackets. Let's not talk about high income lah. They have their own sets of problems lah.
Let's not talk about them lah.
No, it's different. It's different. When you talk about high income, it's like, I have a problem thinking about whether or not I should make 100,000 today or 110,000 today.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Not good for us.
Difference doesn't seem very exciting to me. Just go 100,000, never mind 10,000, never mind.
Yeah.
That one is nasi lemak money for me. I don't need 10,000.
Loose change.
Yeah, man. How are you?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So okay. This I always tell people, if they have an idea, if they have something to or if they're willing to learn, I always tell them, come, let's sit down and I can help you. You launch it. I'm no expert, but I have that little knowledge to just kickstart your thing. Yeah. Don't think too much. If you don't know what to sell, we find something to sell. You can sell people stuff if you don't have nothing to sell.
Right. And how do you want people to contact you? If, let's say, for example, any of the listeners
call you
here, they call me.
You
They email me, is it? And then I'll contact you. Okay.
Yeah, it's easy to find my name.
Just search it. Yeah. Hey, you. By the way, whoever is listening or watching, if you have no idea, right, who Imis is, just look for Imis Iskandar on Google. You'll be able to find a lot of stuff, and even on YouTube as well. So if you're thinking that
Hopefully
whatever he's
nothing
saying
bad
is bullshit, right, in terms of media coverage and support, you'll see it. You'll see it for yourself. Okay, so just go check it out and you'll know. Now, Imis, thanks so much for that. Okay, you've
No
shared so
problem,
much
man.
with us today, and I would like to end off this entire thing with a questionnaire, as I always do. All right, this one I don't send to you all one. I never send it to the guest. Okay,
Oh,
so
no.
so
Okay.
it's very simple. Okay, it's just a quick fire, rapid fire kind of
Yes, no
thing.
question.
Yes, no questions,
Okay.
one word answers, whatever you want. Okay, so you ready?
Okay.
All right.
I
So
think so.
always starts off with this one word that you love the most.
One word that I love the most. Oh, I know I'm a very random person. I can't remember. I don't know.
The one that resonates
go.
with you the most.
Okay, go.
Go.
Okay,
All
go.
right.
Okay, go.
Nice. I like. Okay, one word that you dislike the most.
See how.
See how.
2 words. See how.
Right. Okay. Name
Okay.
one inspirational figure, okay, dead or alive, fictional or non-fictional, okay, that you would like to sit down and have a conversation with. It could be anybody, past, present, or even fictional or non-fictional.
Inspirational figure. I can't think of any other than my dad.
Anybody? Oh, okay. So your dad.
Yeah.
You would love to be able to sit
Yeah.
down and have that chat again.
Yes, because okay, this is supposed to be a rapid fire, but there was a lot of I didn't manage to learn the business from him.
Right. So you would actually
Yeah.
want to get his knowledge, more of it.
Yes, and more stories from him.
Right. Because I know what you mean. Because as kids, we for those who look up to their fathers, funny thing is, we only look up to them later in life.
Yeah, when you realize that.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Too late already.
Correct. And then you don't realize that what exactly have they done before to be able to bring home this
Why
bacon,
like this? Why
do.
like that? Yeah.
It's only when we get the experience and we know. I completely understand, and that reminds me, I'm gonna go have a chat with my dad as well. Ask him a little bit more because he seems to know more about my business than I know about my business.
They always know. They
Oh.
always know. It seems that they always know. They know best.
Yeah, man.
Parents know best.
Man, they've been in the industry so long. He remembers everything about my workplace. I'm like, huh? What?
Is it?
I'm like, how in the world do you even know this stuff? Then I asked him, he used to walk the grounds. He used to do this and that for clients and exhibitions. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, so this dude might just know people who I'm talking to right now, which kind of freaks me out a bit. Anyway,
don't look down too much.
Oh man, never mind. I will carry on from where he leaves off. That's the idea. Okay. So favorite dish and place to eat. Tough, right? As a Singaporean, hard to say,
Yeah. Just
basically, I'm asking you for a food recommendation.
No. I'm not a good foodie. Really, my go-to food, my happy food is just nasi lemak.
Nasi lemak. Where?
That's all.
Where?
My comfort food is that I don't know how to pronounce this. QIJI,
QG.
It's simple, really.
It's good.
Yeah. It's not good. It's just simple for me. My comfort food. Every time I come back from overseas, I'll just eat chicken rice or nasi lemak. That's all.
Did you just mention the brand and say it's not good?
No, I didn't say it's not good. It's just that it's normal. It's nothing. Nasi lemak is simple, man.
Right.
It's not a rocket science food.
All right. It doesn't have to be the Punggol nasi lemak. It doesn't have to be crave. It doesn't have to be like super branded lah. Just nasi lemak is nasi lemak.
Yeah, it can be. Nasi lemak is nasi lemak lah. So I'm very simple one. I can eat nasi lemak for a few days.
Wow. Okay lah. Simple man's food, sustainable. Okay. What does retirement look like to you?
Okay. Honest to goodness, I can't see myself retiring. It's not as if I'm like, I can't see myself like in a farm when I'm 60, taking care of 5 goats or 5 horses or something like that. Retirement will just be, I can't see myself like stop working. It's not as if I'm a workaholic or whatever,
right?
But it's just that I will do just small stuff, just to keep myself going. Yeah, staying active. That's
and
it.
Productive lah.
Yeah. Because the moment you stop working is the moment you're dead lah.
Wow, that's what is that Lee Kuan Yew who said that?
Wow, I'm
I
on
can't
par
remember.
with him.
Yeah, correct. I can't
No,
remember whether
but
that's what he said, but I know that
is
guy,
it?
that man, that great man, worked to his last breath. That amazing person. Yeah.
Okay, I added one more.
Yeah.
My late father, the day when the last day that he could talk, he asked me, how is the project? He asked me, not charity, because he's involved in my work in Expresso.
Ah.
He asked me, how is the tender? Did you get it? And we were talking about the tender. That was the last conversation that we had.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, so the day you stop working is the day you're dead.
That's true. I mean, for him,
Yeah.
it was literally that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
literally.
better he said that
It
than
is
he
what it
said,
is.
yeah, better he said that than he tell you, hey, can you stop not eating nasi lemak or not? Not so epic, huh?
That's so epic. Yeah, epic. Nice.
Okay, then
Yeah.
lastly, how do you, I mean, you've always remembered your father and you've left him a legacy. Now, how do you want to be remembered? What is your legacy?
Okay, the reason why I'm helping all these people, and we're not talking about fees or whatever, right? I'm sincerely helping them is because I see how my dad helped people during his time, and now I'm reaping what he sowed. So like I have people that came up to me, and these people are really up there, and they told me that, Imis, whatever you want, you tell me, I will help you. And they have helped me all the way. I have people in Malaysia who call me and say, Imis, if you're here, you make sure you come and see me, and I will whatever you want to do, I will link you up with people. Because your dad helped me, it's because of your dad that I am what I am today. And he's not the only one. There's a few people. So I reap what he has sowed before. So I want when I help these people, okay, I'm not the same level as him, but I could help a little bit, yeah. So by helping these people, next time, it is not how I am being remembered, but how my kids can benefit from that. Something like that, that's yeah. Maybe I'm not answering your question 100%, but that's
You're basically carrying on the tradition, right?
Yeah. So because you mentioned legacy and all that,
it is legacy in that sense that you want to be remembered that, okay, I managed to help them, and that's why this kindness and gratitude,
pass it on.
We'll pass it on. You pay it forward, so to speak.
Yeah. That's how I that's why I always feel like, okay, if it doesn't take too much of my time and it's not over my capacity, I will help them.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Hey, thanks so much for being on the show. Thank you so much for sharing all the information with us and sharing with us. Thanks so much.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure.
Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of this episode. So catch us again on the next one. But in the meantime, do like, subscribe, whatever it is that you have to do on YouTube. I don't really know how to do that stuff. All right. So ciao. We'll see you next week. Bye.